Ladies and gentlemen, WrestleMania 41, Night 1 and Night 2 are officially in the books. Today I'm going through everything that I liked and everything I didn't like from the show and giving my opinion. Per usual, I made a predictions video for WrestleMania Night 1 and 2, so we'll be checking back on those and seeing how well I did. So I want to start off by saying that the stage was absolutely beautiful for this event. This is a top 5 WrestleMania stage in my opinion, and I think they freaking nailed it. It also looks like they used some parts from WrestleMania 39 and some previous WrestleManias. I kind of like that. I think it's smart. We also got what looks to be a special announce table just for this event, which is super cool. It looks like a roulette table. Absolutely awesome. But let's go into our first match. The night opened with Jey Uso versus Gunther, and wow, I mean, there's a lot of thoughts that go into this match. Jey doing that super long Shield entrance through the crowd. That's a long walk. That took a while, but it was super dope. He literally dapped up like everybody going down. Super cool. The match was great. Certified banger. No problems with it. Should it have opened the show? I think so. I think it set the standard, but it also opened on a big bang and kind of left a big gap in the middle of the show. But I feel like I was still a little bit more hyped when Sami beat Gunther. It felt bigger. Now we've already seen it, and now I also feel like Gunther's a bit weak, especially after the way that Jey won the match. He tapped Gunther out, which from a story standpoint, it makes sense. It's the same move that he injured Jimmy with. It all comes together perfectly. But like, how is Gunther going to be a formidable character from now? How is he going to present himself after this? We all know he went crazy before the match, but what is he going to do now? How does he come back from this? Other than that, I'm super happy that Jey Uso won. It was a super feel-good moment. The fact that he got to celebrate that with his brother Jimmy, absolutely amazing. So after that absolute banger of a match, we slowly rolled in to New Day versus the War Raiders, and the match was great. It's just what you expected a tag match on WrestleMania to be. I really enjoyed it, but I think the crowd was a bit flat, and I think that was just because they've seen a crazy match before, and now they've already been accustomed to WrestleMania, so the show was just going on from there. It really does suck though. I really don't understand why Big E did not come out after this. Why are you gonna have this match on the card over that amazing SmackDown TLC match? Why is this match on the card if Big E doesn't come out? So does that deduct some points for me? Sure, but I still like the match. I think it was great, and Xavier Woods looked like Cedric Alexander. So after that, we moved into Jade Cargill versus Naomi. This match didn't really have anything on the line, but the build was absolutely fantastic. Naomi's heel character has been literally so good. A few things I'll say about her new entrance theme and her new Titantron. Her Titantron looks like Logan Paul's, looks like the same thing. And her theme song, I can't put my finger on if it's Def Rebel or not. It smells like Def Rebel, but it doesn't sound like Def Rebel, if you know what I'm saying. Let me know in the comments if you think that that is Def Rebel's theme song or not. Jade had a fantastic entrance. It was super cool, and the match was great as well. I think both women put on a great performance. They know how to do it. I think Jade is really engraving herself into the groundwork of WWE and proving herself to these fans. She won a lot of people over tonight. I think that shows a lot about how good she is. Jade is 90% of a professional wrestler. She just needs to tone her skills in the ring, and she's literally the total package. This match is a 10 out of 10 in my eyes, and I'm super excited to see where they go, and I really want Bianca to turn heel. I love you, Solo! Next up, we had Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight for the United States Championship. What a freaking banger this match was. I had relative expectations, but they freaking exceeded him. This absolutely proved that LA Knight is much better of a wrestler than people say. People were talking a lot of shit about LA Knight, and I think that is absolutely unjustified, and this is just a betrayal of that. So Jacob Fatu did come out with Solo. I wonder where that's going to go from here. I'm assuming he's going to turn on him and they're going to fight for the title. I would feel like that would make sense. LA Knight pulled up in a whited out Maserati. It was absolutely dope. What a perfect entrance to be a transitional champion. One thing I'm really glad about is that LA Knight wasn't squashed. This could have easily have been a quick match. They could have cut time really easily and just been like, yeah, squash LA Knight, doesn't matter. But I'm super happy that didn't happen. They made it a great showing. It was absolutely even, and it opens room for another match down the line. But I do still have the question as to where LA Knight goes from here. I mean, I could see him in the world title picture. I could also see him on any marquee matchup, so I'm kind of confused on that one. We're just gonna have to wait and see. Next up was El Grande Americano versus Rey Fenix, as what was originally supposed to be Rey Mysterio, but he got a leg injury on I believe it was SmackDown. This match was absolutely fantastic, and I'm super happy with how much they were able to pull off on the fly for Rey Fenix's entrance. He had really cool gear, had a great Titantron, great production overall. They were able to make that happen within a few hours time, and that's absolutely awesome. Match delivered, everything happened like we thought it would. Kick to the face, injured foot. Chad Gable hit that ankle lock with the wrong foot, but who cares, it's wrestling. Okay, Fabe, you fucking marks. Super happy that Chad Gable was able to get his WrestleMania moment, whether it was the way he wanted it or not. They also did it in a way where they can build off of this with Rey Fenix, and he also didn't get squashed by losing. It wasn't a fair loss, so it just makes sense, and it's gonna work. Chad Gable did a bunch of cool stuff that I did not know he could do. He really has expanded his moveset, and I'm really excited to see what else we're gonna get from El Grande Americano. I never thought I'd be saying that. So next we saw Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair, and this is one of those matches that I knew had to deliver for it to be worth being on WrestleMania, and it absolutely did. Both of these women put it all on the line. They kicked the shit out of each other. Tiffany did not look okay after that match. Starting off the match, we had some insane entrances. Tiffany coming out of the Barbie boxes is absolutely awesome and fits her character so perfectly. Charlotte had the Nepo Baby entrance, the glitz, the glamour. She might as well have came out of a helicopter again. It was pretty cool though, I will say. The match did end with Tiffany retaining the title, which I am so happy happened. I genuinely thought Charlotte Flair was going to win that title. WWE had us all guessing because every time she comes back, she wins whatever title is the most popular. So super happy they did this. I think the match was great, and it shows that Tiffany is going to be a staple in the women's division for a very long time to come. So coming around to our night 2 main event, we had Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth freaking Rollins. All 3 entrances in this match were absolutely aura filled, absolutely canon events in the WWE. I absolutely loved it. It was super cool seeing Living Color perform CM Punk's theme song again, and it's always awesome hearing live guitar on WrestleMania. You know, as a guitar, oh shit. This match was absolutely fantastic. It was perfect. It was pro wrestling. It was about pro wrestling. It was for pro wrestling. It was absolutely a canon match in this industry. It reminded me of the night 1 match from last year, Cody and Seth versus Rock and Roman, fighting all around the stadium and just all the cool shit and all the mixed personalities, all the aura, all of the people in the match making for a spectacle. And that's exactly what this was. It was fantastic. The wrestling was peak. They had you guessing every second. What's gonna happen? This is gonna happen. What's gonna happen? Oh my God, Seth's gonna win. Roman's gonna win. Punk's gonna win. I did not know. By halfway through the match, I had no idea who was gonna win, and I was genuinely excited. That is what they want. That is what they are trying to do, and they absolutely achieved it. I will say Roman is the absolute best at the near fall. He literally goes at 2.5. Speaking of near falls, I think everybody got a near fall in this match almost twice. Like, it happened so many times. I do have to say, I did see that double powerbomb coming, but I did not see the fact that they were going to swerve it. That was pretty cool. Towards the end of the match, things were winding down. We were wondering what is going to happen, and finally, Paul Heyman gave the chair to CM Punk. We thought he aligned himself, but no. He gave Punk a taste of the old giblets right up the gooch and gave the chair to Roman, where we all thought Roman was finally going to get his revenge on Seth. The stars were aligned. The moment was there. And just when we thought that was going to happen, Paul dropped to his knees, skadoosh, and he aligned himself with the visionary Seth freaking Rollins. I saw this coming, but the way they did it was freaking golden. Absolutely cinema. It flowed so perfectly. Paul's facial reactions, Seth standing there like he just knew it was gonna happen, like there was a plan all along. It was just perfect. Words do not describe how good this match was, and it absolutely felt like the end of an era. Seth Rollins with the win, and I think we're gonna see him with The Rock coming soon. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. A little something I want to talk about before we go into night 2. I watched the Slammy Awards before night 2, and it seemed really scattered, really underproduced, and it really seemed like a shitty version of the Slammy Awards. So from here on out, I petitioned for it to be back in the Hall of Fame. So after a hellacious night 1, we knew we were in for a treat for night 2. There was so much on the line. It just had to be better than night 1. Right? So the show opened with Io versus Rhea versus Bianca, and that match absolutely slapped. All the entrances were super freaking cool as well. I love the new Titantron for Io, I have to say. This match is exactly what I expected out of a WrestleMania match from these 3. And at one point, the crowd started heavily booing Bianca, and she basically turned heel. She started acting like a heel. She was a heel. So I think on Raw or SmackDown, she's definitely going to turn heel and just go full force with the character. I think it would only make sense from here on out. I really wanted Bianca to win this match, but it ended up being Io, which was my second option just because she was like the hey, don't forget about me thing, and that's what they went with. That's what they expanded on. Io Sky retained her title. Now, I also want to know what's going to go on with Rhea from here. I don't know exactly what she's going to do. She's not going to do a storyline with Dom again. That's already done. She's not going to do another thing with Liv. That's already done. What's new for Rhea Ripley? That's what I want to know. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Next up, we were graced with an insane match. The Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental title between Braun Breaker, Penta, Dominic Mysterio, and Finn Balor. This match was insane. All the attires in this match were really, really cool. All the entrances were super, super cool. Dom's entrance was insane. The second Dom came out, me and all my friends, our reactions are on our TikTok, by the way. Cam Broner on TikTok. After Dom's entrance, we all said he's winning. No way he's not winning with that entrance. And that is exactly what happened. The biggest heel in the company, Dominic Mysterio, pulled off the victory and won the Intercontinental Championship after a fantastic match. Dom won the title and the crowd erupted. The crowd started cheering Dominic Mysterio. I never thought those words would come out of my mouth. The crowd started cheering Dominic Mysterio. Not only did they cheer him when he won it, they cheered him 5 hours later during the press conference, and they're going to cheer him tonight on Raw, I bet you. Dominic Mysterio has completely changed his character for the better, and he has ascended. People have seen what he's been doing. He deserves it. I'm super excited for Dominic Mysterio, and that match slapped. What's going to happen with the Judgment Day? That I don't know. Comment your thoughts. So next we saw the match for the Women's Tag Team Championships, Liv and Raquel versus Lyra Valkyria and a returning Becky Lynch. Bayley got replaced by Becky Lynch in this match in kind of a controversial way. It seemed like it had been planned, but it just seems weird to take a WrestleMania match away from Bayley, saying, hey, you're gonna be at WrestleMania, you're gonna have a match, and then taking that away and throwing Becky Lynch in there. It just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Either way, it was great. Love seeing Becky back. She did amazing. The match was fantastic, and they took the gold away from the Judgment Day. There was no more gold in the Judgment Day as of right now, unless you consider Dominic Mysterio still in the Judgment Day. I guess we don't really know about that yet, but we're gonna find out. The match was pretty good. It's what I expected. It was kind of a slow match. A lot of people didn't pay attention to it. I certainly didn't, but it's all right. Next up, we had Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest in the Sin City Street Fight. This match absolutely changed the pace for WrestleMania. Having the stipulation is absolutely necessary, and I think WWE needs to add more to these moving forward. It just adds a level of intensity to a match when there's not a title on the line. There were some really cool moments in this match, especially when Kerry King from Slayer played out Damian Priest. What a fucking awesome moment that was for WWE in general. I mean, getting someone from Slayer, especially Kerry King of all people, absolutely freaking amazing. This match was great. I don't have much to say about it. It was just a banger. It was an absolute banger, and Drew McIntyre came out on top. I am ready for a Drew push. I am ready for Drew to kick the shit out of Jey Uso and win the title that he was supposed to hold. Anyway, super happy about that. Let's move on. Next up, we had Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. This match was super cool. The entrances were great. I really like what they did for Logan's entrance, having like all the different camera angles. He had the drone that went up in the sky. That was super smart, super on brand for his character. And I think he's probably a little salty that he didn't win that Social Media Star of the Year award at the Slammies. This match was absolutely phenomenal. It's exactly on par as what I expected with AJ Styles and Logan Paul. Both of them did exactly what they do best, and the match was great. I do think it could have used one more big moment. It could have used a table spot. It could have used like one of those viral moments that Logan Paul does. It needed a little more something to kick it forward into like a great match, but it was perfect. It was just what WrestleMania needed, and it kept the night going. Next up is the match that we were all wondering about. After Kevin Owens got pulled, it was Randy Orton versus a mystery opponent. There were so many people rumored. Solo, Aleister Black, Rusev, Joe Hendry was rumored. Like, so many freaking people. It was insane. I made a video on here about that, and it got a bunch of views, and you guys were all talking about it. It was insane. And some of you had it right. It was the man himself. You said his name. He appeared. Joe Hendry answered the challenge for Randy Orton, and it was amazing. Huge pop. It was really cool to see Joe Hendry at WrestleMania. The only thing I didn't like is the match was kind of short. It was a short match. It was more of a gimmick match. It was fun. It was super hilarious. They did the meme spot where Joe Hendry was in the middle of the ring. He smiled. Randy hit him with the RKO. Absolute cinema. Hilarious. I'm super happy that WWE is high up on Joe Hendry. I really think he could be a big guy in that company, and when his title reign wraps up in TNA, man, send him over, please. We saw Stone Cold Steve Austin come out in an ultimate fan service moment. He drank some beer. What? He crashed an ATV a couple times. What? Caught him a lawsuit. Hell yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, our main event for the night, Cody Rhodes versus John Cena for the undisputed WWE Championship. Is John Cena gonna ruin wrestling or not? I'm gonna start out this very based opinion here. My expectations for this match were up here. The match itself, about yay high. The match was still great. The match was a generational matchup. It was the current guy versus the guy who had been. Clash of Styles, Hollywood Hogan versus Rock. We've seen this before. I will say though, this one absolutely did feel different with having Cena as a heel character, him coming out with just the John Cena on the Titantron. That was hilarious. And the contrast, having Cody with a super grand entrance, all the motorbike guys and all that crazy shit, the Iron Man helmet, that was so freaking cool, by the way. I don't understand like why The Rock was not involved. What is Dwayne Johnson doing? What is the deal here? Is this a shoot? Is this a work? Is he really trying to get people pissed at him for a character? Why is he not showing up? What, like, something is not clicking here. Something is not adding up, and it needs to be explained. It needs to be explained as soon as tonight on Raw, and I will update you guys as soon as possible on that. Super fantastic match, bunch of back and forth, bunch of false finishes, ref bump, and Travis Scott came out. Travis Scott was the big whoopee for this match. Not The Rock, not Stone Cold Steve Austin, not The Undertaker. Travis Scott was the big whoopee. I want an apology. I want a black and white apology video. But as we saw in night one, a match about straight professional wrestling is always better than having the focal point be around a celebrity, someone who really has nothing to do with the product and doesn't add to it. The only thing Travis Scott is adding is eyes and headlines, and that's what the WWE was going for in this match, and you can tell. Other than that, this match was generational, absolute canon moment in the WWE. I enjoyed it, and John Cena is your new undisputed heavyweight champion. He's gonna ruin wrestling, and he's a 17-time world champion, breaking Ric Flair's record. Absolutely insane. There's a lot going on in this match, and we just need to see what happens on Raw. That's the only thing, that's the only forward motion I can say for this. So what do I rate WrestleMania 41? I would give it an 8 out of 10. The stadium looked amazing. There was an absolute aura. The match card was fantastic. Everything pretty much delivered except the main event, and I think we're just still gonna find out. I think we need to let it keep cooking. We need to let it develop. We need to let some more snow gain in the snowball. It's gonna be big and it's gonna explode. We just need to let it happen. Another thing is that we were super spoiled in WrestleMania 40. We had a crazy main event that we're not supposed to get every year. Something like that is not supposed to happen every year. So having a sort of flat main event this year made sense. It's exactly what Cena's preaching. I really enjoyed WrestleMania. I had a great time. I hope you guys did. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and follow the TikTok for reactions to all this stuff. If you want to see what me and my friends think about all this stuff in real time, head over to the TikTok, link in bio. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.